Yeah, at this point, it seems like, based on some folks that we've talked to, I talked to right during the commercial break, that there might be a meeting planned for Tuesday. Things can change. At this point, it's very unclear how the sides come together, right? Like in these kinds of negotiations, both sides need to be able to go back to their base, back to their voters, back home, and be able to say, we got X out of this deal. And so we thought we were going to have a meeting Friday. That meeting was canceled, which is not always a bad thing. The congressman would know better than me, but it sometimes means that on a staff level, they are still hammering things out. And now that it looks like we might have a meeting on Tuesday with the principals, that means we might be moving forward and they may be able to find some things. But I will say, the Biden administration has been clear that they don't want to tie the debt limit and the spending cuts together, but that they're willing to talk about it. So it seems very possible that at the end of this, we end up with two different bills, so everybody can go home and say they did what they said they were going to do.
Okay, let me ask you about that, David Jolly, as someone who has done the work of legislating and then needing to go back to district and explain to voters what you did. I mean, is this a thing that voters are really talking about outside the prospect of defaulting, right? I think people understand sort of the macro risk of a default. How many voters are there who are really going to give Republicans a gold star for bringing us to the brink and getting a series of spending cut recessions on programs that lots of Americans rely on?
Yeah, it's a great question, Alicia. This will not be a campaign issue at all unless there's a default. Nobody will get rewarded for actually paying our bills. But look, in common political parlance, there's two compelling arguments. One says pay our bills. The other says let's spend less. And actually, both those make perfectly reasonable arguments. However, when you tie the two together is when the federal budget and the good faith credit of the United States gets held hostage. So what I will tell you, if 20 plus years of experience inform anything around these, they do always get worked out, but they look a little different each time. There have been times where Congress just suspended enforcement for 4 to 6 weeks until a deal got worked out. I think the one thing to look for the White House, they're obviously going to want to protect all of their signature priorities, but they could agree to some out-year cuts. It could be pretty painless. The main thing is House Republicans want this only for 1 year, which then kicks us into next spring going into presidential. It is foolish. It is irresponsible. I would suspect the White House is going to insist that this be a 2-year deal that gets through the 24 election.
Eugene, I got to ask about a quirky solution that comes up every time we have a debt ceiling crisis. That is the 14th Amendment, the $1 trillion coin. I want you to take a listen to what Senator Chris Murphy had to say about those approaches.
I don't want to give Joe Biden advice, but I think we should do our job. I think that's a precedent to just absolve Congress from being adults.
I mean, I think that is advice President Biden would be happy to take, right? Congress, go ahead, do your job. How much is the administration actually considering any of these solutions?
Yeah, I mean, first, this man, Joe Biden, loves the institutions, right?
Yes.
He loves Congress to kind of do his thing. He's a creature of the Senate. So his first thing would be for Congress to figure this out and for him not to have to play with weird things in the Constitution. So the thing that has been kind of in everyone's ear and that some Democrats have pushed the president and the administration to look at is invoking the 14th Amendment, which basically says, among other things, that the U.S. has to pay its debts. Other administrations have thought about doing this before. It's obviously not happened. So they would ignore Congress and the debt limit, just keep paying the bills. But then there's the legal challenges. And so it wouldn't actually help this time, right? It's kind of too late for them to invoke that because who knows how the courts would handle it. And so this is an administration, while they're considering it and looking at it, it's on one of those all things are on the table moments. They aren't interested in doing something that kind of upends and like the senator said, absolve Congress of what they're supposed to actually be doing here.